If I asked you to close your eyes and picture a fighter pilot, I think most of you would imagine a man in a green flight suit, tall, dark, and handsome, with amazing hair. And he would look something like that. Tom Cruise from Top Gun. You probably weren't envisioning me, a girl in a green flight suit, scrawny and petite, but still with amazing hair. Well, if you didn't, it's fine. I get it all the time. When I tell people that I fly airplanes, they usually go, "Ugh, no, what do you actually do?" An air stewardess? This is what I do. Okay, I know if helmet's on, this can actually be anybody. So, here's another picture to win you over. Ooh, I like that response. This is my office, and I train to deliver bombs and missiles to where I have to, when I have to. So I guess you could say I'm a scrawny, petite badass with amazing hair. Well, I had always wanted to be a lawyer. That went well. I went for a career fair when I was in J2 and quickly decided that being in the Ministry of Education or other ministries wasn't my kind of thing. I wanted something more outdoor and more exciting. And boy, did I get more than I bargained for. When the SAF eventually offered me a career with them, I jumped for it. I took my leap of faith, despite not knowing what lay ahead. And come to think of it, it's actually quite a silly thing to do, to leap into something so unknown to me. But I thought to myself, why not? What's there to lose? So just like that, I took my leap of faith and went from dolls to guns. Oh, I like that response too. So, what's fighter flying actually like? Fighter flying is amazing, but really, really, really stressful. You have to perform every day, every mission. You have to survive. You have to shoot people before they shoot you. And it can be a life or death game every single day. But I stuck onto it. I'm like a little bit crazy and like kind of like a type A. So in a warped sense, I enjoyed it being difficult and challenging. It's one of the most amazing things that I've done, and one of the things that I think that I'm most proud of having done in my life. Firing and detonating expensive things is the greatest adrenaline rush. And it's been my only constant since as long as I can remember. But I love it the most for the thing that I was looking for the least when I first joined, which is a sense of purpose and satisfaction. This sense of purpose and satisfaction doesn't just come from bombing the shit out of expensive stuff. It comes from two things. One, the fact that I'm fighting for my country with my friends, and inner realization that whatever I do contributes to national defense. You know, that I'm fighting for something bigger than myself. And two, it constantly pushes me to improve and challenge myself. But it took a while for me to realize this sense of purpose and satisfaction. And training up to where I am now was challenging. And this was one event that I remembered. Let me share it with you. And there I was in a dogfight, my right 3 o'clock high, another fighter jet, whom we endearingly call hostile. He ducked his nose low, losing altitude, but gaining angles on me. My right 4 o'clock low, almost in my control zone. He can almost take a shot on me. I couldn't lose. I over-rotated the jet, yanked on the stick, and over-G'd the aircraft. In English, this means that I had structurally damaged the jet by exerting too much aerodynamic force. And such incidents are taken very seriously, as they could mean severe damage to my aircraft. Well, I know what it did to my ego. If checked out well, life will continue. If not, then I could have bent the wing more than what was allowed. I wanted so badly to win that I had manhandled the jet and failed my flight. When I came back onto the ground, my eyes just started leaking. I wanted so badly to be good that I couldn't stop comparing myself to the guy next to me. If he could do it, so could I. It took a while for me to come to terms that I had failed my flight, but I eventually told myself that I just have to embrace my fears, own my handicap and my outcome, and press on. And then I'll realize that that's good enough. So this has been my mantra since then, to embrace my fears, own my handicap and my outcome, and press on. And chocolates, because there are no heartaches that chocolates can't fix. Or maybe there are some heartaches that chocolates can't fix, but anyway. It's okay to stretch outside of our comfort zone, to fly forward, to reach a goal, or even just for support. Because if you don't do that, no one's going to do it for you. In flying, we always say, new jet, new day. A new day comes, you sign out the jet, and at this point, all your mistakes belong to yesterday. And today is a clean slate. So fast forward 2 years, I got sent to the US Air Force for my pilot training, graduated top 10% in my T6 class, best in academics during my fighter lead-in training. I got my pilot wings and topped my F-15 air-to-air conversion course. But the journey to be good is never ending. And not just for fighter flying, but really for any skill. So even after I graduated as an operational pilot, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbow. I quickly realized that success isn't final, but failure in most cases isn't all that fatal. And in order to be good, I was going to need to embrace failure not once, not twice, but many, many, many times over. And in order to be good, this workup, oh my gosh, this workup was going to suck. And there I was, learning air-to-air refueling, which is the process of transferring aviation fuel from one aircraft to another. It's an absolutely necessary skill in order to fly further and longer. I requested 4,000 pounds of fuel, that's 2 minutes on the boom. This means that I was in my aircraft trying to make minute movements, trying to match the relative movement of the aircraft tanker to my jet. With the goal of flying the boom into my refueling slot, I needed to fly meters away from the aircraft tanker at over 500 kilometers per hour. Closure too fast would mean collision. That was something that I definitely did not want to happen. But a closure too slow, well, it was to me an embarrassing failure. So over the radio, the boom operator, or the boomer like how we call them, told me, to forward, to aft, forward 3, back to astern, try again. I couldn't do it. And in flight, a tear of disappointment rolled down my cheek. Imagine that, a fighter pilot crying. And you know what's worse? As the only F-15 female fighter pilot around, then I feel an obligation to prove that if the boys can do it, hey, the girls can do it too. So, on light-hearted matters, scrawny petite me have to go through the same 9G training as the boys. So I just willpower my way through it. And while the boys can conveniently relieve themselves in flight, I have to find creative and innovative ways to do the same. But on a more serious note, sometimes when I'm around the dudes, I don't really know what to do, how to act, or what to say. Well, and don't get me wrong, it's not about discrimination. Let's just put it this way, okay? Sometimes I think that people think that if a man stays late, he's dedicated. But if a woman stays late, she's neglecting her children. I think that people think that if a man asserts authority, oh, he's acting the boss role. But if a woman does it, She's just simply having her period. So the difference is that men, they walk this journey with other men, but us women, we often walk it alone. In the history of Singapore, there's only been 4 full-fledged female fighter pilots, and we're separated by being in different squadron and proficiency levels. But we all experience the same emotions. Stress before a track ride, 8 Gs in a combat turn, a fear of failure, but all alone. So I know the number 1 rule to looking cool is to seem unfazed, to never admit that anything scares you or excites you. It's like walking through life forever protecting yourself. But if you do that, you're gonna miss out on all the beautiful what-ifs that could happen. Don't be the person who whines and bitches but never ever gets anything done. But if you are that person, well, I hope your friends and family love you anyway. So, I think that we can be whatever we want to be. It's just a matter of time and effort. I became a fighter pilot. You can be a pro kite surfer or a lingerie designer, which are actually all my secret dreams. Just do your research, and if you put your heart to it, you'll most likely get there, and more importantly, have no regrets. Because when I die, I don't want my tombstone to say, Jin, the girl who played it safe. So boys and girls, it's never too late to do what you want to do. You just have to, and I've said this like 1,000,000 times now, embrace your fear, own your handicap and your outcome. Keep a box of emergency chocolate and press on. This journey does have many pit holes, but just remember, new jet, new day. I hope you make your journey to the skies, because I know that I made mine. Thank you.